So I thought I would battle the Nelly robot, just because, and I wanted to play the black pieces this time. I recently made a video where I went through all three of these Discord robots, and I was halfway watching my own video, and I was like, oh, I made a lot of mistakes when I battled the robots. So I wanted to make a quick video, and I can get the king in check here. I'm sorry, I wanted to make a quick video where I just tried the Nelly again, see if I could do a little better, see if I could do a little more gooder. King, this is a nice fork with the, but the bishop probably won't allow it. However, I'm up a pawn, and if the bishop takes my knight, I assume it will, that pawn out there on the third rank is going to be very annoying for my opponent. So, we're going to try. I'll have double stacked pawns on the e file, but that's okay. Yeah, I think that'll cause a great many problems. So I wanted to replay this robot and hopefully annihilate my opponent. You heard me right. I said obliviate. And so I just wanted, I just wanted to see if I could do a little more gooder. I felt like I made a lot of mistakes in my other game. But all in all, I was pretty happy with it. But I have to confess, I'm not real familiar with this opening. And in this situation, I'm just going to stick to the fundamentals. I think 1700 is a respectable bot. I think, for me, I have to keep my pencil sharp battling the 1700 bot. And so I'm just going to try to stick to good, clean chess, stick to some fundamentals. And this makes me nervous because I'm not sure why this Nelly robot did that. I don't know if I should take with the knight or the bishop, or is there something I'm not seeing? Do I just need to get the hell out of there? At 1700, I don't just assume, oh, it was a blunder. I mean, maybe, but I'm not a good enough chess player to just be like, oh yeah, that was a blunder. I assume when I battle a 1700 robot, that maybe there's something going on that I'm not seeing, is, for me, the safe assumption. But I love, if you're familiar with my channel, I love battling the 1700 robots. For me, it's, I can usually beat 1700 robot, whatever robot it is, whatever engine it is. I'm talking about robots, though, not 1700 actual players, 1700 rated live players. I'm talking about the robots now, I'll be fair. But, they're fun, they're challenging, I can usually win, but they're dangerous enough that it keeps me sharp. I don't want to just battle the 1700s, because then you get stuck, you get complacent, you get kind of stuck. And so here, it's not much development, but it's development. Getting that bishop off there, off the bottom rank. It's not much, I confess. It wasn't much, but sometimes these games, there's not big movements that you can do. It's just, it's these little movements that win it, get in a winning position. Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I should take that knight with bishop or the knight. My opponent's e-knight has that square blocked as well, unfortunately for me. And my bishop's being attacked by the rook, so do d2, do a fork. Remember my rule of fork me, fork you. Now, that bishop isn't developed, but I'm tempted to take it anyway. I mean, I feel like I'm helping my opponent there because now they've got the rook out. The bishop wasn't even developed. They're probably saying thank you. However, something about I just didn't want that bishop down. Yeah, and I have to watch out for this fork too. And so prevent that fork from happening. I didn't feel comfortable knowing that that knight could swing to the d7 square and fork my rook and bishop. My king's boxed in. I can't do that yet. Yeah, so. I'm trying to make this a fairly quick game. I don't want it to drag on and then people are more bored with my videos than usual. And that pawn on the A file still makes me nervous. But my opponent's major piece is on top of it instead of under it, so that's good for me. Normally you want your major piece under your pawn and then you promote. Now if it's in game, you want your king on top of the pawn when you try to promote. Usually all things being equal. Should I do the rook exchange? I'm not up any material. I normally like to do an exchange when I'm up material, but all right. Let's get rid of that pawn. And I'm afraid that my opponent is going to use the knight and rook together in some way. And, yeah, guess we'll do that exchange. if I can promote. If I keep pushing, I'll just lose my bishop, so I'm going to have to deal with that. Okay, so now I'm back to being boxed in because I can't go to the H7 or the F7 square. So I'm just checking to make sure my opponent can't get their knight. The knight would have to sit in one of those squares for it to be mate. And actually that wouldn't be mate. I could still escape to the F8, but I think I'm going to get a promotion here really quick. Yeah. Okay. So now, good clean chess should finish this up. And, you know, the game's going well, I confess, and I'm not really strong enough to obliviate my 1700, these 1700 bots. That's right, I said annihilate. But I wish I could. I wish I could just get in there and blast him in 30 moves or less. That would be awesome. But now here at the end game, I just want to create a box for my opponent. I don't want my opponent to be able to go anywhere. So I'm just going to keep the king, my opponent's king, on the H file, not really give him a place to go. And I think I'm just going to swing my king into action and say I don't want to stalemate. So always watch out for those stalemates. I've been on the business end of that where games I should have won and the clock, you see the clock ticking in live games, I mean. And then I end up falling for a stalemate. It happens. Let's see. Okay, that wasn't the sexiest ending, I confess. It's probably things I could have done a little better there. But it got it. I want to quickly check out the review. Let's see what we got here. It says Nelly played at 73.1%. I played at an 80.4%. Says Nelly played at 1500. I played at 1900. And okay, so my bright idea, the computer said it wasn't so bright after all. Just gonna quickly go through this. Oh, yeah, okay. Makes sense. I see that now. I did not see it during the game, obviously, but yeah, that's the problem, you know. You play the games and then you see, oh yeah, that makes sense. But during the game, it's hard to see these things. Oh yeah. there was a mate right there. I didn't have to. I just overlooked it. I saw the mate in 2 at that point and was just went in that direction. You know, I've failed puzzles because of this kind of thing. But hey, thanks for watching, and hope you have a great day. Hey gang, thanks for helping me play my chess games.